I think I'm going to invite. Ah, yes, admit. I'm trying, I'm gonna get you in here at some point. Admit. Oh, wonderful. Hey, guys. Oh, I see you guys. Hello. Can you hear me okay? You are connecting to audio. Perfect. Mary Beth, hello. Ask to unmute. I'm gonna do a little bit of talking, but unless it's noisy in the background with you guys, I don't need you to mute. Okay, I hear you, Carolyn. How are you?
Hi, just fine, Leah. How are you?
Good, I'm good. I've been on plenty of Zoom meetings, but to host one, I've hosted just individual ones, but this will be interesting. So Mary Beth is, I believe, here. Her video is not going, but that's okay. I'm going to give our other participants a couple more minutes to get going. I'm extremely pleased to have you guys come on the lives, that even though this is getting recorded, which, by the way, you may have had this strange, crazy voice say this is recording, so that I can give it to you guys later. If you, for whatever reason, have to go or you can't make it, you're going to have the option to be able to look at these and listen to these. And I'm basically going to be going over a lot of what I sent you guys. I want to make sure that my delivery of the material is working well for you, and the videos are watchable and all those things. Part of the beta launch is you guys get a discount in exchange for your feedback on what's working and what's not working for delivery of things. So I do appreciate all and every feedback. This is, everybody's learning, everybody's growing in this, and it is perfectly imperfect. So but I wanted to first touch on commitment, because just with you, not to say no, other people aren't committed, but when you commit to showing up at a certain time and you follow through on that commitment, you dig that neural pathway of, I'm not going to let myself down. It's not necessarily letting me down. It's not letting yourself down, because you said a few weeks ago, I'm going to do this and I'm going to show up for this 12-week intensive with Leah because I want to change what's going on in my life. And I promise you, you will second guess your decision many times through this process, and that's completely normal. And it's about trusting the process and trusting that all of these emotions and these mixed experiences are really all part of that process. And it's about working through those moments of doubt and fear and getting out of that comfort zone. I feel like I probably have asked, I feel like I have asked already to get you out of your comfort zone, just even to do, maybe a lot of you are a little uncomfortable with the check-ins, and that's understandable. It's difficult to face what it is that we are wanting to change, but we want to see what it is that we want to change so we know if there's change, right? We have to know. I 100% promise you, if you don't do those check-ins, if you don't do those progress pics, you will regret it, because you will have success. You will wish 10 pounds ago that you took that photo you were terrified to take in your closet or in your bathroom, in your bra and panties. I'm telling you, you're not going to regret taking that picture. So that's one thing I wanted to check on, a little bit of clarity on the check-ins. This video was sent through a Google Doc. And so it's a little different than me giving you the link to the YouTube video. And that's on me to clean that up. So hopefully you guys did get that video and it was clear. And I have gotten some check-ins, and it's okay if you didn't get your check-in in yet. Just the sooner the better. And I wish I could turn that off, because if you guys can hear my emails coming through, I apologize. I will have to figure out how to turn that off. So the most important thing about your check-in is wearing the same thing each check-in. So the picture is going to help you with that. You may not remember what you wore that day when you did your measurements, but those pictures are really going to help you, like, oh, I wore that blue panties and that pink bra or whatever. Wear the same thing. Compression on our chest and everything is going to be, it's going to vary based on the different bra that you wear. So wear that. And then also, and I know this seems really picky, but it is super important for me, because I am doing this all online with you. It's super important for me to, I apologize, be able to compare, because you are taking your measurements and we're using the scale, we're using the tape measure, we're using the pictures, and how you feel in your own skin, what your clothes are feeling like on your body is all the tools that we're going to use for that. And so it's easier for me to be like, okay, this was week 1 compared to week 3. And I can do a side by side and I can tell you all the things, all the changes. And I guarantee you, I can see changes that you're not going to see, because I have an eye for what's going on. And you are in your body. You look at it every single day, all day long. We don't notice those tiny little changes that go on, but someone who sees you once a week in that same pose, that's going to show change no matter what. So front picture, profile, turn to the left, always turn to the left. So I have your left profile to compare, and then one back picture. Make sure that you have the same distance. If you all have smartphones, you should be able to set a timer so that you can not hold the phone. I prefer you not hold the phone and then do one of these. It's set it down, know exactly where you set it, put a little tape mark on the floor where you're going to stand so you have the exact distance. I'm telling you, it all matters. I used to be horrible at check-in photos. My coach got so frustrated with me. She had me do pictures over and over again. I'm like, why can't you see this? And she's like, you don't understand what I'm looking for. Now I do. I get it. So do all that. If you need help, reach out to me. I can help guide you, and then make sure there's good lighting. I don't know if you can see that the lighting I have right now is probably fairly good. I was in my kitchen and it was like daylight and it was shadows and stuff. If you can, this is like, I don't know if you have those little O-rings where you can take selfies, and those, any kind of daylight is great. I'm not telling you to step outside and do your progress pics, but open the window, get the daylight on you so I can see. It does matter. I want to see all of you. Another one I sent you guys was on food journaling. That was the very first one. Food journaling. I just need a 7 days. It doesn't have to be the last 7 days. It just needs a 7-day, which is a pretty typical, okay, this is a week of eating for me. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull what the good things are, and I want to put those in your plan. If you're something you're eating over and over, it's obviously you like it. And so I'm just going to give you the right portion and the right time of day to eat that. And so, and it may not be everything on your meal plan, but I'm going to really try to merge what you're doing and what I need you to do to get where you're going. Some of you are in this for weight loss. Some of you are in this for shaping and toning and growing muscle, and transforming that, which I believe all of us are really in it to transform, because we don't want to just lose body fat and then have no muscle or shape under that. We want to be able to like what we have under what we lose. So it is really a synergistic thing where we're doing both, because the more muscle you gain, the more body fat you're going to burn, the more calories you're going to burn at a resting state. And who doesn't want to eat more food and not gain weight? Like, to me, that's amazing. You get to enjoy things. You get to go vacation and explore different cuisine, and you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I had 500 or 800 more calories because I had that sauce. Your body is going to realize what it can do. And I kind of talked about a little bit of that in a post recently. I'm going to keep posting in our Facebook group. That also brings me to my next point. Any questions you have, post it. If it's not personal, if it's personal, that's fine. Just message me. But if it's something that you think could be all of us a benefit, post it in the Facebook group and tag me in it. Or I look daily. I'm in and out of that group quite a bit, and I'll answer it because I guarantee you someone's going to have that question, or they didn't know they had that question. And then they discovered they had the question and I give the answer. So it's a wealth of knowledge. That's going to be a huge hub for all of us to encourage each other to, what did you do good this week? What are you struggling with this week? What can we share with each other that you grew in that area? It's all super beneficial. That's why I love the group stuff as well as the one-on-one, because you guys are all such unique people and bring such different things to the table that it's a beautiful thing. You guys help coach one another too. And that leads into where I really want to spend a lot of time on this call. Is I've talked a little bit about journaling. I mentioned it in one of the emails, and it's not the food journaling that I'm talking about. I'm talking about a journal of you, of yourself, your insides, your thoughts, your fears, your wins, all of those things. I have started journaling since I started my journey. I started journaling, I'd say 7 weeks, and without fail, even if it's just 2 minutes. I literally grabbed my journal one time when I was running late to meet a client, and I got there early, luckily, and I had 2 minutes, and I sat there in my car and I just reminded myself, why am I here? What am I doing every day? Why do I want to live with this passion and this purpose? And what are the goals that I set? Short term, long term, what are those? Remind yourself, get yourself in that vibration and that thought. Your thoughts turn to things. I 100% guarantee you, whether they're negative thoughts or they're positive thoughts. Journaling really, and I'm not a journaler. I don't do that. It's just not a passion of mine. But what I have noticed is I've kept a commitment to myself, which means I'm going to be able to easier keep commitments that I make down the road to myself again. And it does keep me in the mindset of why I'm here and every day, because you guys, this is going to be an everyday, all day journey. This isn't just once a week with me. This is every single time you're about to eat. What are you eating? Why are you eating it? What is it doing for you? And all of that is going, your emotions that you also connect to all of that. Is this food fuel? Is this food going to get me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? I'm sure you guys noticed a lot of things just food journaling. Like, I don't know if anybody has, if you've ever food journal, I lose almost 3 pounds no matter what, because I refuse to put that in my mouth because I said I'm journaling it, and I'm not going to journal. That piece of chocolate or that cake or whatever. And I'm a sweets girl. I love sweets. I love that stuff. I love ice cream. Oh, so I know it's just a checks and balances when you food journal. And I would encourage you to food journal throughout the process. It's not required. It's okay. Oh, someone left. Sorry about that. I had to admit another person. I hope Mary Beth is here. Connecting to audio. Okay. Sorry, I'm still learning on this whole thing. I think I have 2 Mary Beths in here. Anyway, put in the chat if you need anything. I see the chat if you need anything, or if you have a comment or a question or anything, just hi there, Mary Beth. Then you just put it in the chat and we can interact with you guys in the chat for now. But back to the food journaling, it's very eye-opening to be aware. It's just like the check-in pictures. It's just like the food journaling. It's just we're really identifying where we're at right now. And where we're at is not where we want to be. So what are the things that are getting us there? And then now we know what to change. It helps me know what to change for you. And it helps you aware so you don't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's called insanity or something. I know it's not good. So we're going to continue on with the food journaling. If you feel lots of benefit from that, I find it very accountable. Because I'm not going to be with you every day, sitting in your kitchen, sitting in your car, whether you're eating your meals, prepped your food, all of those things. So now going into macros. I don't know what your background is on whether or not you know macros versus calories, but macros are really where I focus. Calories, yes, they matter, but it's what are those calories? You can have a Reese's peanut butter cup and it be the same calories as this whole plate of food over here, but the macros are like everything's different and they're way better for you. So we're going to really focus on the macros and what those represent. Protein represents supporting the lean muscle that you have. And also protein every single meal. It must be every meal. You cannot skip your protein. It is going to keep you satisfied. It is going to give your body that lean muscle that you are building. You don't want to lose that. If you lose weight super fast, if you've ever lost weight super fast, it's because maybe you didn't eat or you're under eating. I guarantee it was not all body fat. It was part muscle. And we don't want to do that because then we're taking away our ability to burn calories at a resting state. So that muscle is so important. Protein is number one. If you can't have anything, get the protein in. And there's lots of tricks that I have that you can do if you're running late, you're busy, you can't get this in, you're not really hungry for it, to get it in. It's a must. Then we decide what we're going to pair it with, a carbohydrate or a fat. These are clean fats. I will be giving a list of clean carbohydrates and clean fats. When you pair a protein with a carb or a protein with a fat, the time of day dictates that. So your more active time of day, you're gonna pair your protein with your carbs. And then when you start to wind down, you're gonna pair your protein with your fats. Fats keep you a little bit more satisfied. Your body goes after carbs first. Actually, take that back. Your body goes after alcohol first. If you introduce alcohol to your system, it does not do a thing with the carbs or the fat. It goes straight to burning the alcohol for energy. And that's what's so tricky about alcohol. I don't know. That's one of the most difficult things for people to navigate when they want to lose weight, because it makes you gain in a certain area also. Just like our hormones make us gain, also alcohol makes us gain, sugar makes us gain certain ways. But if we keep introducing alcohol, it could be the lowest calorie alcohol, tequila, vodka, all of that is very low. And it's like, oh, well, I had a vodka and soda and lime. And it's like, well, that's okay. That's great. You didn't introduce a ton more calories to your system to burn, but your body stopped burning all the other stuff you put in your body that day. So it's not to say you can't have a glass of wine here or vodka and lime there. It's just going to slow your process down. And I guarantee you, you go dry for a little while, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel like $1 million, and you're not going to realize how bad you felt until you do, for a time, omit that from your diet. So we can talk about that a little bit more if anybody has more questions or concerns about the alcohol thing, because it is a deal. It is a deal breaker for some people. So the macros, I'm going to give each of you your macros based on what it is that we're trying to accomplish. I also, so some of you have sent me your food journal. So go ahead and send me your food journal. I'm going to sit down with each of those. I'm going to look at all of that, your check-in. I'm going to see what is producing this package that we've got right here. Then I'm going to calculate what your macros are. Please include any of your food allergies or just foods that you're like, I won't eat it no matter what you say, Leah, period. I'm sorry. It's just a no-go. This is not happening. So maybe give me a list of those, but really think long and hard about that. Like, will you really not eat that if it's something that you know is going to be good for you and your process and your goals? So also, I have talked to each one of you about your goals and also your, the application process whenever we did do our consult and we all talked. I do know all of that. If ever your goal changes, always let me know that. This is your journey. I'm just here to help you get from point A to point B. And if those change, that's fine. Let's look at that and then we'll make some adjustments. Okay. I also sent, and I thought, and I would love to share my screen with this because I really felt it very valuable. Did you guys see the mindset work, the mindset challenge? And it was just different statements. It was different statements that indicated a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. And how many of you, what was your put in the chat, what's your feedback on that? What was your response to that? Did you guys take the quiz and did you find out that you were a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? Where did you fall in that? I can even unmute you guys. There's 2 of you right now, so you can unmute yourselves, I believe. Mary Beth, I think you're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How did you like that?
I had to go upstairs in my conference room, so I had to come back down so I could get the camera going. I did not take the quiz. I did even share that video with my kids who have 4 kids because I think that mindset with how you're raising children is important. But I am probably more of a fixed mindset. And as I told you in our individual conversation, it's something that has occurred with age and just through relationships that have been negative for me, where I hear all the things I can't do.
Yeah.
Even though people hear that other people are telling you that you can, or you're this or you're that. It's I've had a couple of important, whether it's been a parent or a spouse, tell you you can't, right, and you're not. And so those things have been, that was a very helpful video that I intend to watch again, that TED Talk video, because I think it's something that you need to hear multiple times.
100%, because you come from a different vantage point each time and you hear different things. And what I really liked was the quiz was interesting to take. I would encourage you to take the quiz. It's super. It's like 10 questions, and then it has a little line that goes up and down. But what they talk about is the changing of the statements. And we're going to go further into this on more of our calls. But, like when it comes to challenges, we're going to find some of this to be challenging, our process here. A fixed mindset would say challenges are avoided to maintain the appearance of intelligence and capability. How many times have we done that? I have. I've done that because I don't want to look stupid or like I don't know what I'm doing. But growth mindset says challenges are embraced, demonstrating a desire to learn and grow. That still feels very empowering to me. That statement still feels like I'm not this subordinate kind of mentality, but I am a person who's open to growing and receiving new information and changing some of the ways that I do things. We're going to be pushed outside our comfort zone. There's going to be things that feel inconvenient in this process. And it's going to be imperfect. You're not going to get it perfect. And it's going to be frustrating. And there's going to be a point in time where you're going to want to stop and be like, nope, this is not for me. But what I would encourage you to continue to move, the people that move through those moments are the ones who succeed. They are the ones who get to their goal. So moving through it is, I'm not perfect at food prep yet. If you put that one itty bitty word behind whatever statement that you said, we are moving into a more growth mindset. Obstacles, a fixed mindset would say giving up in the face of obstacles and setbacks is a common response in the fixed mindset. That's what I was just talking about. The growth mindset is showing grit, which I know you got, resilience in the face of obstacles and setbacks is a common response in the growth mindset. So digging deep, moving past these uncomfortable moments, talking ourselves through, you're like, okay, at least I did this. I did this, this, and this well. And then I am going to get better at this, or I'm not doing this yet. But that doesn't mean there isn't going to be growth and change. And it is really what separates the women from the girls on who gets that life that they want. Because we're not just talking about our bodies. Yeah, we're doing different foods and we're doing our exercise, but what is that doing inside of us? It's creating a person. We're transforming from the inside out. Our bodies are not going to go where our minds don't take it. So we have to get that right first. Every day in the morning, first thing you wake up, don't get your emails, don't look at your texts. You get that journal. I have it set right next to my nightstand. So that is the first thing that I grab. I have also a really cute little 1 question a day, 5-year journal that it's just a fun thing for me. I can look back and see how much growth I've had. And I fill that out. I go get my coffee and it's become this ritual that I tend to myself first. And you guys might not have kids at home and you might have kids at home, some of you. But you come first before any business, before any spouse, before any friends, kids, anything, pets. It's you first, because making you that priority is going to exponentially give you the power to do what you are attempting to do and fill your life with these habits that if you're a busy person already, oh man, well, now we're adding this. How are we going to incorporate that? Well, that's how you got to set priorities. You've got to change how you do some things and be open to some of that change and just putting in that effort. So showing up for yourself is the absolute number one thing that we've got to do before the meal plan happens, the prepping, the understanding the macros, even going to the gym. We can talk ourselves out of a lot of stuff if we don't get that right. So go back and do that growth mindset. And I really encourage you here. Let me give you this. Would this be a growth mindset or a fixed mindset statement? There are some things I am just not good at. Fixed.
That's
Yeah. Or I don't mind failing. It's a good chance to learn. Growth.
growth.
Yep. When others do better than me, it makes me feel inferior. I know I've had
Fixed.
that. Oh, that one.
Fixed.
Yeah, that stung. Yeah, I like trying new things, even if it means getting out of my comfort zone.
Growth.
Yeah. It makes me feel successful when I show others I'm good at things. What does that sound like?
Growth.
That's fixed. When other
Oh, it
people,
is? Wow.
yeah. Because it's being performance based, and I have to look a certain way to get that accolade kind of, when you show others good things, when other people succeed, I feel inspired. Yep. Growth. Carolyn, I need you to unmute. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
And I'm so glad. How about this? I feel good when I can do something others around me cannot.
Fixed.
That would be fixed.
Yeah, but isn't that an interesting statement? It doesn't seem like a bad statement. Like, I gotta be honest, I feel good when I do something that other people can't. But that's not a growth mindset. It is possible to change how intelligent you are.
Growth.
Guess growth.
Yeah, yeah. You know, there's some statements that we can make be like and it's in that TED Talk. If you have listened to that TED Talk, it's in that where we think that we're just born with certain talents, born with a certain intelligence. We don't have any room to grow. We can't, I'm telling you, I just moved and I am being pushed so outside my comfort zone when it comes to taking care of a home by myself, figuring out how to install things. Like, yes, I can read instructions, but it was always something I delegated out. And now I'm like, I get this feeling of like fear, just total fear. Like, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to be able to do this. This house is going to swallow me alive. And then I tackle it and I'm like, oh, that wasn't so bad, you know? And it's like, I can do this. And so it's moving through those moments of fear of, I'm not going to be able to move. I'm like, I'm too old to learn new tricks type of thing. Never, 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 never. I am going to be the handiest person you'll ever meet by the end of the year. That's my goal. I'm going to know how to hang things, move things, install things, do all this stuff, hook things up, do HVAC stuff. I'm dealing with HVAC stuff. It's all super intimidating. Here's another statement. I think people are born with a certain amount of intelligence and they can't do much to change that.
Fixed.
Yeah. Feeling frustrated makes me want to try harder.
Growth.
Yeah. I like that statement because it's acknowledging I'm feeling very frustrated, but then, you know, it's moving through that moment. So if you can recognize what you are, then I'm going to send exercises throughout the week and we're going to work on the mindset. That's going to be one of the primary things that we work on, because to be honest, there isn't going to have to be much change on the outside as much on the inside. The inside is just what leads everything. So I just really encourage that the journaling. And I thought about this and I might do this. And like I said, you guys are in the beta launch and I really would love your feedback. If it is motivating, if it is inspiring to do it. I thought about at the end of the 12 weeks, if you wanted to share your journal, you could. And then I would give you part of the feedback. You have to be a full 12 weeks. If that is something that's motivating to you, I will do that. No doubt about it, because I have found it to be so beneficial. Yeah.
Can you give me just some direction on how to, like, what do you journal about? How do you start? When I wake up in the morning, what do I write about?
Okay. I'm gonna share with you. I have it right here. Oh, yeah, this is fun. It's just so it's just thoughts. It's just so I put daily journal and then the date, because I know if I find this 10 years from now, I'm gonna be like, when was this? And then it says, so had a run-in with Matt yesterday, totally kept my cool. That's how I started it. I was like, man, I did good. He did not. Thinks I'm vindictive because I couldn't arrange for Jazzy to go with them, you know, and it's like, I stated what happened. And then I started a new sentence. I said, out on my balcony, enjoying coffee and the sound of the fountain, love my house. And then feeling a bit behind, but that's normal. See, when you journal, I encourage you to journal your fears, your apprehensions. You're like, oh, I'm feeling this. I didn't do this well. But then what do you write after that sentence? I put feeling a bit behind, but that's normal. I need to buckle down and stay the course and not give up. That's what's in my journal. I can do this. I've already done this. How can I not do this? Like I'm pep talking myself. I'm like, you got this, Leah. I'm learning and growing every day. I love my tribe. I love who is in my world. Saw Justin and Mary's house last night. Wonderful space and land. I can totally see Justin in his element, blah, blah, blah. I have my Zoom call tomorrow for my group. I journaled about you guys. What I'm going to do, be making notes. I have my business call on Tuesday. You know, it's kind of like I'm talking to my future self. Like, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to go. And this is where I have been planning to go. When you set your goals, and that's something I would like to also, this is going to be the homework for this week. And then I'll send an email of the information for the other homework. It'll be very succinct. It'll be very clear. But the homework for you guys is going to be, what is my goal? And get specific. Get very specific. Have it somewhere where you can read it every day, so that then you can remind yourself why you're here, why you're showing up every single day. And that's the thing, is you guys have to show up. I'm going to show up. I'll be here. I'm your support. I'm your cheerleader. I'm your tough love, all of those things. I'm your guide, but you guys have your foot on the gas. You guys are going to have to make your vehicle go and show up. And if you don't know the answer, you find the answer. You know, it's not, no one can do this for us. No one can make this. I feel that even more so being single in my home. I was in my home for the first time last night by myself, and I thought that would feel weird. It felt so empowering. I just loved it, because I'm doing the things that I know are going to get me. Oh, I got a letter in. I'm going to have to change that setting. Sorry, Carolyn. This is recorded, so you guys can go back and watch this too. You popped out of the Zoom, but you know, it's like, I get to do my passion every single day. If you don't know what that is, find what that is. And that's what trying new things, going outside your comfort zone, I guarantee you, just getting your basic needs, which is like your food and your exercise, in order is going to make a huge difference. And then showing up for that every single day, showing up for it. But then also, there have been days for me, I had to make a decision. I moved recently, so there were some things that I couldn't do. And I would message my coach and I would say to her, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so behind. I can't do this. She's like, chill. You are fine. Take care of what you got to take care of, and then get back to business. You know, like, she really soothed me, and she let me know I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. This is just perfectly imperfect. And everybody's feeling that way. Sometimes we get the imposter syndrome. And if someone's getting ahead or able to execute something before you could, you know, the imposter syndrome, where you're like jealous of that person, and it doesn't make you feel good or excited for them. It makes you feel bad about yourself. We got to stay clear of the imposter syndrome. That is a joy stealer like that. And that has been a practice for my group of people that I'm involved in. I always believe coaches need coaches. You know, if you go to a counselor, ask them who their counselor is, because that's important. You want your guides to have guides. And my group, we experience all that same stuff. But what's cool is, in the group, Facebook group that we're in, the private one that we're in, the one that you guys are in, we will post that stuff, and man, everybody jumps in, is encouraging and be like, don't worry about it. You got this. This is what I would do. Time management. If you're having a hard time with getting it all in and figuring out where you're going to fit all the prepping and all of that stuff in, write down your schedule and say, from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. And then when that time's over, you go to the next thing, even if it's not finished. That is how you get little by little done. And I promise you, it's like eating an elephant one bite at a time. You can't think of the whole thing at first. It's just little by little. You got to get one step in front of the other. And then one day you're going to wake up and be like, wow, look how far I've come. This is pretty cool. And I didn't have to do it all in one night and stay up till 3 a.m. and do all that stuff. And with you guys, it's going to be a little different. So if you don't get into, say you're going to the gym or you're doing your workout at home, an emergency happened with family or business or something. Okay, we'll make an adjustment. No big deal. Like, don't beat yourself up and be like, oh, it's all going to hell. It's not. It's not. Because once we're done with this, things are going to happen. And you're going to have this habit and you're going to have this lifestyle that we've created. You're going to be able to look at your plate and say, okay, that's this many macros, that many, that many carbs. And that, okay, wait a minute. I'm not going to have as much activity. So I'm going to probably cut those carbs in half because I'm not going to be able to burn that. You're going to be able to make all those decisions on the fly and live a lifestyle and keep your amazing results. But first and foremost, you're going to feel so empowered. Isn't that what we all want? Is just take back control of our lives, our new life. I mean, I'm starting over in a lot of areas, but to me, that's just so exciting. I get to make all my own choices. I decide my destiny, not somebody else that wants to silence me. I do that. And if anybody is in your circle that wants to do that, we're going to talk about family and friends. That is a whole Zoom call, because when you begin this journey and you start making choices, excuse me, when you start making different choices, everyone starts getting uncomfortable. They're just like, oh, what are you eating? What are you doing? It's like, nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to be over here doing this. You know, it makes them feel uncomfortable about the fact that they're not doing it. I'm like, oh, you know, I should be doing that. I know I need to eat better. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's your call, buddy. I'm just keeping control of my life right here. Everybody stay in your own lane. Just stay in your lane. Don't let anybody in yours, and don't try to get in anybody else's. Don't try to get anybody to join you on this. This is your journey. Yours is going to look different than everybody else's. And you're going to run into different things that no one else has. You've got different friends and family and circumstances that you're going to run into. So it's going to be a principle-based, not situation-based. We have to be principle-based on all of these things. I have taken meals into movie theaters. And my choice to do that wasn't because I thought all my progress was going to go to hell. It was here. It was, I committed to this show. I committed to getting to this point by this time. And it keeps my head in the game. And if taking a meal of fish and asparagus into a movie theater is going to do that because you don't want life to have to hit pause because you want to go do things, then you do that. And don't worry about what anybody else thinks of that. Okay? It makes you uncomfortable. Sounds like something you need to work through. That's not my problem. Not your monkey. Put that back on them. But you can be inspiring, and people can be like, man, she's keeping her cool. I'm not able to rattle her. She's keeping on her. I mean, that's what that journaling is going to keep your alignment throughout this whole process when you get thrown all these different things. And if you get thrown something and you're like, woof, that was a rough one. That definitely threw me out of my lane. Then just find your way back, get help from me or the group or whatever. Just post it and be like, oh, y'all, look at this. This just happened, and you get back on track as soon as possible. It's not like when you don't make a meal, the whole day goes, to crap. It's just that one meal. just get back on track, make a better choice next time, and let yourself off the hook. You know what I mean? Don't just beat yourself up over stuff like that. That's a fixed mindset. That's, I'm never going to be able to change. I'm never going to be able to grow and do this. And that's not what we're here for. We're here to grow into people that we have never been before. I am going to let you guys ask questions of any kind. I know I threw a lot of stuff at you guys. This is something I would recommend, because email is how I have to deliver you guys the information. And if you like the videos, that to me, I like the best. You guys definitely give me your feedback. I don't like long emails. Those are really long for me, but I want to give you all that information, and I hope they're easy to read. But the link to the YouTube videos, to me, so where I can just talk to you, seem to be the most effective for me. If it is for you, definitely let me know that, because I'll keep doing that. And I would save, you know how you can take your emails and put them in files, like you can separate it, like the Leah email, the 12-week coaching program email, so that you could refer back to those. Because trust me, like Mary Beth said, you watch a video and you watch it many, many times, and you're going to hear different things. So that's a lot of information. You might have to reference back to some of it, like the macros video, even the check-in video. Go back and I tell every detail on how to do the check-in there. So it's going to be useful to have, easy and handy. Even like with the Zoom call, it'll be the same ID. It'll be the same password every week. And then I'll email you the ones, if you can't make it, the recorded ones, I'll email them. But it's just going to be good to get organized and get it all in one file. Any questions, comments, observations? You guys are unmuted, so you're welcome to share.
I'll just jump in quickly because I've got to jump off here to a lunch. I've got somebody waiting for me, but I wanted to tell you last night, just the week before, where I've been journaling, and I'm like you, if I have to write it down, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And so, but it's helped me with some of my gastric issues that I talked to you about, just from the stress. And I live on a very steep 1-acre lot. And so Mike was in my workout room, so I couldn't do that, getting an 1.5-hour massage at the house. And so I was there, and I did some of my devotional reading. I'm reading a book, you know, about God took you through the Red Sea or into the Red Sea, he'll take you out. So I'm reading those 10 rules. But in the middle of that, I looked down the hill, and I've lived at my house for 21 years, and it is steep. And I thought, I have never walked down that hill in 21 years. And so I walked down the hill. I looked at my little creek. I looked around at different things I saw, thanking God for things that I hadn't been able to see in 21 years. And I walked up and down the hill 5 times, which was a lot for me when I haven't worked out for 18 months. So I was huffing and puffing, and even the masseuse that came out, the girl that does this, and Mike, they were like, "You did what?" And I said, "I walked down the hill, you know, 15, 18 minutes, but it was a lot, as you're not trying to go into the river." So there was that kind of resistance going down. And I walked up, and I said, "I'm sure the neighbors," I live next door to Lee McLean, the big commercial realtor, and then a dentist next door. And I said, "I know they were eating dinner thinking, what did she do that he's making her walk up and down that hill 5 times? It's discipline." But, you know, tonight I want to do it 6 or 7 times, and I want to get where every day I can do it, because it's such a steep incline that I thought that's a good workout for my legs and my rear end. Today, when I did my 20 minutes of prayer time, I just had 5 pounds of weights that I was doing, you know, those kinds of things during my prayer time. So even though I have a very limited time, I find myself wanting to multitask, and to, while I'm walking the floor, doing those things, I'm finding ways to incorporate a little bit more physical activity. And the big thing is not eating so much sugar and carbs. I felt like doing it. So that was the change. I couldn't have done it before, and I felt like doing it yesterday and today.
Oh, that's amazing. Yay for the wins. That is like, we are going to start every Zoom call with what are our wins, because we give more attention to our wins, then we're going to get more of them. And I'm so proud of you for being able to recognize that in yourself and moving through the resistance that I can feel you had with that, the what if I can't, or, you know, what am I going to feel like? All of those things, you move through that and you get to the other side and you're so much stronger. And then what else can you do? It's just like a snowball effect. So, and
Well, I
yes,
did take my phone in case I had to call Rescue 911 to come get me at the bottom.
well, that will not last long. That's what I also wanted to put, is where we are at is temporary. So when we're looking at ourselves and we're seeing our check-ins and our progress pics, you just say goodbye to that. Okay. You just, it's like you're going to bury that and you're never going to come back to that. This is a goodbye party because it's never going to be like that again, because we're learning tools and skills that is going to change all of that. Carolyn, did you have something to share? Uh-oh, you got to unmute. Okay, try talking now. Ah, there you go. I don't know what's
That was
going on.
my phone that I had an alert. I've got to run to
You
my
have to
lunch.
go, that's fine. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up, but if you've got to go, Mary Beth, that's fine. I want to hear, I want to try and get, hang with me, Carolyn, because I want to make sure. I'm trying to look and see what, and I'll also send this. So if you want to go back to this, I'll send it. Look at the bottom left in your box, Carolyn, and see if there is, did you join with audio when you came back on? Let me see. Mute and then ask to unmute. I just put a little ask to unmute. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Do you know where the chat is? Type it there. Oh, I heard you when you were in your car. Something happened when you rejoined. It may have been, you know, when you rejoin, it asks you join with audio. It asks you to do something, and you may have missed that step or something. Good grief. Allow to multi. Yeah, I have the setting where you can unmute yourself, so it must have been just an audio thing. Okay, I'm on a Chromebook now, where before I was on my phone. So true about food journaling, not wanting to eat junk food, or else I would have to write it down. Yeah, so true. And I think that, did you notice any like change in your physical by changing some things or not putting some things in your body versus because you had to journal? You're really more in a situation where you want to grow muscle and do, you're not in a weight loss situation, but you will. There will be some of that just out of changing a lot and eating clean, really clean, and your activity. Very cool. Did that my response to you on the leg press and changing a couple of your moves help Did you try it? You cannot do standing exercises for legs. That's going to be good information, right? Okay. Oh, okay. So we need to do some modifications for your knee to be able to target your quads. I've got you, because I have a lot of people that do have the knee issues. So all of that's going to be really helpful. So I'm going to post in our Facebook group, just because it's easier for everyone to be able to go look and see. I'm going to put the link to this in case you lose it in your email and you can't get to it for our calls. I'll put the link there so you can find it maybe easier there. But I'm also going to put the homework of what's our goal. And I encourage everyone to post it in the group, because the more we declare it, the more it will come to fruition. If we just keep it inside and keep it to ourselves, we've got to give that goal momentum. And that is sharing that with the group on what that goal is, and being, vulnerable. Everybody's here on the same premise of wanting to be better. And so we are emotionally safe with everyone. And so I'm going to have everybody go in and say our goal, and we're going to remind ourselves every day of what that goal is, one way or another, by journaling. When you had to get off, Mary Beth asked me, what is it that you journal? And it was funny because I had just opened up my journal. And it was about something that happened between somebody else and me. And it was like, hey, I kept my cool. I could have lost it, and they lost it, and I kept my cool, which was great. Feeling behind, but I know that's normal. All of those things, like I literally just spew. It does probably not make any sense to anybody but me, but it gets me in a momentum of, this is what's happened. And I'm kind of, if I'm in a negative sense, and then I start giving myself those growth mindset statements. And that is how you get over the hump of feeling any kind of lacking, or even lack of clarity, or even motivation. That's a whole other thing. We may not feel motivated to do stuff, but this is what separates us from people who have, oh, good, you started journaling. Yeah, people who have met their goals, and people who just give up and say, it didn't work for me. Well, no, you didn't work for you. That is the difference. As you recognize that who needs to do the work. It's not me, it's not the program. Yes, those things are tools, but it is you. And that's when I said to you guys in one of the very first emails is, I 100% guarantee you success if you show up for yourself every single day. And their days are going to look different than others, but you show up every day and you move through those tough times. And if we get I still struggle with some fixed mindset things I didn't even realize. Now that I'm aware of it, I'm like, ooh, that was very fixed. And then I change. And if it's hard to change that statement, just put the word, or I can't do this, or I didn't do that. Put the word yet behind it. That's it. That's how you change that statement, is just put the word yet. Because we are all a work in progress. We are all moving to grow and be better. And if we are not growing, we are dying. And I think we've all experienced that to some level, that, gosh, I just feel this stagnantness in my life. And if you're really transforming things and starting a whole new you, it's a whole new me to journal. Journaling is very therapeutic for me. And it keeps my mind in the game, and I have better days. There's not one day that I've had that has not been a good day. There's moments, but we move through those moments. That's awesome. Yeah, I used to do that. She says I traveled to New York and joined Planet Fitness temporarily so I could still work out. Yeah, I would do that if I went to St. Louis and I had the YMCA membership. I would go to the St. Louis YMCA and I'd ask them, hey, and I was just honest with them. I was just like, hey, look, I'm visiting my family. I'm a YMCA member in Springfield. I don't have one here, but I don't want to pay an arm and a leg just for some day passes. I am a physique competitor. I have some serious, be like, I have a very specific goal right now that if I don't do this, I will regret that. So if you're just even honest with them, they will be like, wow, this person really knows means business. They know what they want and they're coming to us, and people like that, they want to help. So I'm so glad. And it keeps your head in the game. That's the biggest thing, is it keeps you so much more focused. And it may not have been the exact plan that you had or whatever, but it's just doing something and staying consistent with it is just the key. And it seems like you know that. It really is important. So, but it is 12:02, girl. I will let you get on with your day. I'm going to stop this recording and send it to all of you. And you said you're going to bring everybody's going to send me their food journal, and then I will get to work on the meal planning and the prepping, and I will be sending some curriculum this week. So be looking for that. You're welcome. All right. Have a wonderful day.